What's going on, Gunners? Welcome back to the Beginner Gunner. Today's topic is about firearm collections. How many firearms do you need, or how many firearms do you have in your collection? I'm going to break this down a little bit. So I believe you can have a collection, and I believe you can have an arsenal. Now, a collection of firearms are maybe classic firearms, very old firearms, firearms that have stories behind them, firearms that are special editions, firearms that were passed down from your father, great-great-grandfather to you. Expensive firearms, things that are like coffee table conversation pieces, things you can display. That's a collection. Now, arsenal of firearm is something that you use constantly, something you take to the range, something you take when you go hunting, your everyday carry. That's an arsenal. So how many guns do you really need in a collection? That depends on the individual. There's people who collect tennis shoes. You can only wear one pair of tennis shoes at a time. People who collect cars, you're going to drive one car at a time. So with the firearms, it's the same thing. You can only shoot one at a time. Now, there's people that's prepping for the unknown. So they buy guns for that reason, so they have a large collection. There's people that just like firearms in general, that buy firearms, take them to the range once, and just put it in their collection. It's not even their arsenal, it's just collection. There's those who have an unlimited source of income where they can just buy guns all day long. And then you have me. I don't have a collection, I have an arsenal. I have a total of 10 firearms, and each of my firearms is used on a regular basis when I go to the range. I have my 9mm, which I use for home defense, so I take that to the range all the time. So don't jump the gun to try and build a large array of firearms in your collection. Try to get acquainted, adapted with the firearms you own first. Then move on to another firearm. And add to your collection an array of different calibers. So that's the point where I am now. I have 38 caliber, 22 LR, 9mm, 12 gauge. That's it. So I want to add to my arsenal 10mm, 45, 40. So the next firearms I purchase will be in that, not in that order, but it will be those calibers. So my collection will be based, and my arsenal will be based on calibers. Yes, I will get duplicate firearms. No, not duplicate firearms, but different manufactured firearms in the same caliber. Like my 9mm, I have Smith & Wesson, Glock, and I have a high point. So when I decide to get a 40 cal, I want to get an XD, and I also want to get an M&P shield. And then when I get a 45, 2 different manufacturers as well. I think when you do get a Pacific caliber, you should own 2 different manufacturers. That way you can get a feel of different manufacturers, the way different guns handle. So I can understand how people's collection and arsenals grow up so big. You know, I watch some people on YouTube and they have like 60, 70 firearms, and I'm just amazed at how many firearms they have and why, But I'm not far behind, well, I am pretty far behind them as far as collection of firearms, but I plan on getting more, and I don't want to exceed 30 firearms. You guys let me know how many firearms you think is enough in your collection or in a collection, and if there's a difference between collection and an arsenal. Like I said, an arsenal is something that you use on a regular basis. Collection is something that you just maybe show off, as a centerpiece of attraction. It was passed down from generation to generation. It was maybe a one-off type firearm, a special edition firearm, something like that. But you guys let me know. Don't forget, we're all gunners, whether you're a beginner gunner, intermediate gunner, pro, or advanced gunner. And this sub 2000 is part of my arsenal.